Welcome back to the studio. Today we're doing something I simply cannot wait for. Using this book from Handmade Paris. We're gonna make a baby book for my BFF4L, Mel, who just had a baby. And it's her first one, and I wanted to make her something special and custom that she can have forever. So I got this book from Handmade Paris. It's handmade paper. We're gonna need that. We're gonna need a pen. I use the Uniball. I think this is a 0.7. I don't know. It's in my Amazon shop. I'm going to use this little clip, which Mel actually gave me, or she gave me something that had it in. And then we're going to need some corners for photos and some envelopes. We're also going to be using some watercolors a little bit. And that's it, really. I'm going to show you how I make it. So you probably know this book, which is my Zentangle book, also from Handmade Paris. It's a little bit of a different one. So this is how the binding is. You can see I've got to there. Wow, it feels like I've done so many, but not really, huh? And it doesn't quite lay flat, which I'm realizing is maybe a bit of an issue. See that? So I did a little looking into things, and this book does lay flat, so thought we'd use it. I got it at Michael's, and yeah, let's open it up. So it's a different binding where it's these different sections, so it can actually open up totally flat. So if you wanted to get this book for your own Zentangles or just anything, I would really recommend this type as opposed to the other type that I have. This is what it's called. You can screenshot that. So Mel likes a very simple, not over the top style. So I want to just do black and white with a little bit of watercolor when it's needed. For example, I'm gonna paint some flags and then maybe the baby's name somewhere. The baby's name is Sasha. So not sure what I'm gonna do on the front yet, but I'm gonna leave this page blank, but it's such beautiful texture, this paper. I think it's cotton rag paper, handmade with the deckled edge, and it's just so beautiful. So my idea is I want this to be her baby book, where it has all the, sorry, this isn't very interesting to look at, where it has all the details of her birth and everything like that. But also I want it to be a gift for Sasha when she's 18. So there's going to be plenty of spaces for prompts and things for Mel and V to write in like kind of growth she's had at each age and a little bit of a letter to her at each age. And I thought that would just be such a cute way to like encompass all her memories from life. Mel's really into stuff like that as well, so I thought she'd love it. So I'm not going to talk too much throughout this just because I need to focus, but I'll keep you updated when there's something new happening. This is the first page, and I'm just going to say, welcome, Sasha, and then the details of when she was born. There's obviously a lot of private information here, so I'm not going to put all that in here. I'm going to take that out the video or not film that bit, but I'm going to say where she's, the date she's born, the time, and then where. So when she's older and someone wants her birth chart to see their astrological symbols, it's all right here. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to write here is your story. So it's from the perspective of her mom and dad. And I looked at a bunch of different baby books, including mine, which I still have from my mom, of the best things to put in. Mel hates stuff that's corny and lame or like tacky. And so I think doing custom is best because I can pick what I think she'd like in there, and then it also doubles as the gift for Sasha's 18th. Also, they speak French, and this is going to be in English, but it's okay. So I'm going to fill in these details, and I'll see you on the next page. So our first full spread, because there's quite a difference in gap right here, I'm gonna actually take my other Lomely book and put that underneath. Oh, actually that's way too high. I'm gonna take a bunch of magazines and do what I just said I was gonna do. So, have a nice Ryan Reynolds GQ here, Ryan Gosling, sorry. My bad. Okay, and go like this. So for this first page, there's the intro. Oh, I skipped a page. For this first page, I thought it could be kind of cool to do the flags of where Sasha is from, because Mel's family is from all over the world. Sasha's dad is from France, and I just thought that could be a pretty kind of like way to start things. So we're gonna do the French flag first and biggest, because that is where she's born, where, as far as I know, she's going to live for a while. Okay, so Mel is also Swedish, a little smaller. And she is also Argentinian. Yes, she's beautiful. So these aren't gonna be too detailed, because that's not the vibe of the book. So I'm just gonna do this, and then I'm gonna paint the sun rays. So Mel also grew up in New Zealand, so we're gonna do that flag just a little smaller. Can you see okay? I hope so. So that's gonna be interesting, doing the Union Jack in the corner. Okay. I don't know if this is my best Union Jack ever. And then I'm gonna do the little red line in the middle with just my little brush, because this pen is too thick, and I think drawing it would kind of ruin it. Again, we're going for a handmade look, so perfection is not the name of the game. Lucky for me. So there we go. Mel also has a lot of family in St. Martin. So we're gonna add that flag. And she spent a lot of time there. So I'm drawing the designs within the flags kind of to fit the curvature of how I've done them. So this is gonna be an interesting little bit. I love the Caribbean flags, they're so cool to me. We're just gonna give a loose impression. This is meant to be a pelican, I think. And that is my best go. Then we have a house, like that, okay? Then finally, moving back over here, what's that? Mel's family spends a lot of time in Switzerland. Boom. And finally, Mel went to college in the USA. If this isn't 13 stripes, that's fine. I'm not in a counting mood. And then stars, I'm gonna paint in on their own. Okay. Do we think I should write the names of the places too? I'm gonna decide later. Because this book is so big, and yes, doing something on every single page, I have a lot of time to decide. So, also right now it is Thursday. I don't think I'm gonna finish this all today. Actually, I know I'm not, so this might be a bit of a vlog. Okay, so what we're gonna do is get some water, get some paints. Let me just check my color chart. So I want a nice red for these. Here's my color chart for this palette right here. Oh, I think my focus is off, sorry. Boop. I think this red feels best, especially for the French flag. So let's start with that. I'm gonna use the Princeton round number 2 brush. And then for the smaller bits, I'm gonna get a brush out of my brush holder, which is naturally a tea box. And I want something tiny, tiny. That looks good. I'm gonna keep that close by because I might need it again, actually. So, there are the Swiss red is different to the French red, in my opinion. So, we're gonna paint them differently. And we're gonna go for that darker red on the French flag here. So when doing a painting like this, I like to, it's a bit of a dance because I like to get the edge done first, but then I don't want the area I was working on to dry. I also hope this doesn't go all the way through to the other side. I have no idea. So I kind of go along an edge as much as I can, and then I will go back to where I just painted with water and make sure that doesn't dry before I can add the next amount of color to it. So red is actually the last color you're meant to add to a painting because it does change it so much. Guess I'm not listening to that today. But the thing about art is there's no right way to do it actually, so whatever. Okay, Then I think the same red that's in this flag is in the US flag as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do those. Is it a red stripe or a white stripe first? I think it's red. Also, Mel, if I forgot a country, I'm sorry. I feel like there's another, but I could be wrong. I don't have a soundtrack in the background today because, actually, let me not say that. Maybe I'll put one in post, but I don't think I will because it's raining and I think that's quite a nice background sound. Okay, where else do we have red in this? We have St. Martin, New Zealand, and Switzerland is definitely the brighter red. So go in here. I can imagine when Sasha's growing up, she can practice her countries with this book. At least I think that would be cute. Use our tiny brush for the red line. Oh boy, it's actually really thin, I don't know. Okay, well again, it's a gist, not an exact feeling. Okay, and then we're going to do the inside of the stars as well. I'm dying to see what the other side looks like. Okay. Not bad, not bad. So now we're going to move on to any flags that have this warmer red. So Switzerland and St. Martin. Cat hair. Use the point of my brush to get in the corner there, and then the wider part of the brush to go along the edge of the black line. I like to go along the edge because it makes a safer boundary, so I can then be kind of looser and faster when I paint inside that. So like here I'm being careful, then here doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, and there's a little bit of red detail in this area here, so I'm gonna take our tiny brush, which is the 20/0 Princeton Petite Select Spotter Round Petite, and we're gonna do that outline. Okay. Nice. now oh, the Switzerland, duh. I miss Switzerland. My grandma was from Switzerland. I grew up going there as well. I actually went to Mel's house in Switzerland for the first time a year ago, and we had so much fun. Obviously, if there's an area of the flag that's white, I'm just gonna leave it white. I love to use the white of the page in my work whenever there's white. I just feel like it gives it kind of whimsical feeling somehow. Oops, wrong one. I don't want to smudge my hand in anything, so I'm going to go as left as I can first before I finish that bit. Okay, lovely. Now, I think I'm gonna do the yellows. So that would be Sweden, and we have a little bit in St. Martin as well. So the yellow in this palette is a little too lemony for this. I think the Swedish one's a little more golden. And I have a bunch of yellows in here. Let's find them. I think I'm gonna go for this one. So, trying to show you as much as I can. I'm gonna activate the watercolor by swishling it around with some water. Nice, now we have a little bit of a puddle going. And I'm gonna use that. I love the Seychelles flag. That's one of my favorite ones. I also like Switzerland just because it's so balanced. And Japan too, for the same reason actually. And the UK because duh. I grew up there and it just feels homey. Oh, Parmesan has entered the studio. Okay, we also have some yellow on the Argentina flag, and that's a bit of a more orangey yellow. So I'm gonna take this shade right here and color that in. I might need to go over the little face. Okay. The thing about this book is I cannot mess up because I only have the one. And Mel's a Virgo. Okay. So now we're gonna do the squiggles. Again, I'm not gonna get every single one in here, but it's about the vibes. What I do when I have to do something all the way around like this is I'll do the 4. So we have a even distribution to begin. And then I go halfway between each of those things, lines. And then you do that as many times as you can, and it just keeps it arranged nicely. So I'm gonna do one between each of these, and then I think that'll be great. Because this brush I'm using is a little used, it's not perfect, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go over that. Okay, and then the last bit of yellow we have is on the St. Martin flag down here, and that is more of a lemony yellow. So we'll go back to this palette we started using and use this color. I just made a Zentangle this morning with this pink, this yellow, and then lots of oranges and yellows, and it was really pretty, so it's a little activated. We're gonna fill in, ooh, I don't know if that's dried, yikes. Well, we've gone for it. And then this right here, this scroll, hey Parmesan, is yellow. Okay. Nice. So there's also a tiny little bouquet in this corner in the St. Martin flag, but I think it's just gonna screw it up if there's too much going on with the level of detail we have. So yes, what is up? Parmesan's very into sitting on my lap these days, which I'm not mad about. Okay, so now almost all these flags also has blue. Now, yes, what's up? I have a lot of different options for blue. For the French flag, I want my kind of naviest, darkest blue, which I believe is gonna be in here. I also show you, have a color chart for this one arranged in the same order-ish. So we're gonna go through here. I think this one is gonna be best, and that is this one right here. So we'll take our bigger brush. I could actually use a bigger brush for this even, but I don't feel like doing that. But there is technically this space. Okay, so we'll do our little outline again. Person from the gas company is going to come over at any time, so if I abruptly disappear, that is why. I was using my fireplace yesterday because my heating wasn't really working, and it's very cold here in LA. For LA, yes, I'm sure it's not cold other places, but I find it cold. And my carbon monoxide alarm started going off, and it was blaring saying carbon monoxide alarm. So naturally, I freaked out and I grabbed the cats, and we went downstairs to my neighbor's apartment. Luckily, he was home and welcomed us with open arms, all three of us. And we hung out there, and then the fire department came and they had to check the meter and everything. And basically my fireplace has to be serviced, and it's all okay, but it was quite scary. And so the servicing person is coming over at some point today. And that blue I think looks perfect actually. I don't love guests in my home because I have a fluffy white rug and I have a no shoe policy, and I feel awkward asking some random dude I don't know to take off his shoes, so I probably will not. So my rug might get dirty, but you know, worse things have happened. Okay, so this blue isn't the same, but it's similar. This blue is more this blue. So let's do this first. And I know this because of my color chart. Oh, wrong one. Here. And let's see if that's dried. Oh, you know what? Not quite. We're gonna hold off, change of plans. We can work on Argentina. So that's a beautiful light blue, which, this, I don't know if this is quite right. I think it's a little too purpley, but I think based on the colors I have, it works best. Yeah, I think that's pretty. Again, it's the essence. I actually have a really good color for this, but I finished it. A little bit of something in there. So now that I'm using this paper, I'm realizing it's not exactly the same as my Zentangle book paper. It's kind of firmer. It's like more fibrous. So if you're wondering why Sasha's dad doesn't have any flags, I'm pretty sure he's just French. And I hope that's the case. I asked Mel a few questions like what time was she born and all this. So she knows I'm making something, but she doesn't know exactly, and I want it to be a secret as much as possible, so she's surprised. And I feel like that could really give a lot away if I'm like, where's V from? Bit rogue. Okay, that's nice. I think that looks really good. So let's check. That's still a little wet. We are not gonna be risking over here, but I think it's safe to do the American flag. So for this one, I think we're gonna use the same blue I'm gonna be using down here. The stars are gonna be suggestions, and that's just how it's gonna be. What we can do is just secure an outline. And then there's 50 stars, right? I think what we'll do is just kind of break it up. Into almost a checkerboard vibe. Again, I'm obviously not counting, but I think that'll do. Okay. I'm gonna go make a cup of tea while this dries. The gas man is here and he's hot, BRB. Okay, we are back. I have already finished my cup of tea. Turns out it was issues with my fireplace and also my heater. So my heater has been turned off. But, you know, whatever. It's okay. We're gonna get it fixed. I did not kiss the handyman, but that's also absurd if I had, so I don't know why I even said that. It's Valentine's Day tomorrow, so I think I'm just in my feelings. Anyway, okay, cool. So we've done the blue on the St. Martin, and then we're gonna make the little bird a brown from the same palette using our teeny tiny brush. So now everything is fully dried. We can go in, and I'm gonna do this one first, New Zealand, because it's out the way so that my hand isn't dragging anywhere nearby. I would like to use, it's not quite that blue and it's not quite that blue, but I'd say it's more the USA blue. So I'll use my tiny brush for the corners, and then we're gonna move into the bigger one. I had wanted to give this to Mel, so there's gonna be a pregnancy section where she tracks like what her cravings were and just any funny stories, and like space for pictures of the ultrasound. It's kind of a scrapbook as well. And so I'd wanted to give it to her before the baby was born so she could start filling it out and stuff. But then I thought, well, hold up. Then I was meant to do that, and then the fires happened in LA and I had to evacuate, and I just wasn't able to do this, which was kind of a bummer. And so then I was like, it's okay, I'll just send it to her around the time the baby's born. And then I was like, you know what, if I'm already not sending it for before she's born, I may as well personalize it and like put in all the details that I can, like include her name in places and all that kind of stuff. So that is what I decided to do. So sorry, it's a little late, Mel, if you're watching. I don't even know if she watches my YouTube. So on the New Zealand flag, there are white spaces around the stars too. So we're gonna paint those in. And then once we have all our boundaries, we can go in with that bigger brush. Okay. It's really started to rain now. I hope you can hear it and that it's a nice soundtrack, because this doesn't really happen often. If you're not familiar with LA, this time of year is kind of rainy season, and January, Feb, and then we also have a bit of a rainy season in May, June, or it's at least gloomy. And because it doesn't happen, oopsie, I went a little close there. Because it doesn't happen too often, it's kind of nice. I walk everywhere, and kind of is a bit of a bummer when it's raining, because I usually don't even have to think about if it's gonna rain or not, because it doesn't. And so it changes my plans ever so slightly sometimes. However, I did grow up in the UK, and so it doesn't really bother me too much. If it rained often, it would bother me, but it's just not enough that I find it cute. Okay, so now we can go in and fill in the rest of our New Zealand flag. So on this paper, I'll shut up in a sec, but you can actually hear the brush strokes more than my other paper. I know people request that sound, and usually I don't really do silent videos because you can't hear the brush strokes anyway. But on this one, you can hear that. Cool. Okay, New Zealand complete. Then we're gonna move on to St. Martin, which is a little bit of a different blue. But I don't quite have the right one, so I'm gonna continue using this color. I usually do one random stroke like that at first because it just gives me a gauge on how much paint and water is on the brush at that time. Like if it was more than I was expecting and I went into the corner, it could have bled everywhere. So it just is kind of like a pulse check. Now this side of the page is complete. We're gonna move over to Sweden. I've never been to Scandinavia and I would really love to go. Okay, I think this color is gonna be great for that. So we wanna find that in our book, in our paints, which can be a little tricky to calculate exactly. So I'll go up from the brown, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a bunch of friends in Norway, so I would really love to go there. And I've never been to Copenhagen, Denmark, and Finland seems absurdly cool. And obviously Sweden would be beautiful, so I just need to do a trip, don't I? Lizzie's Scandinavia tour. If you have any recs, if you're from there, let me know and I will add them to my list that I haven't made yet, but that I will start. Although I have heard the Thief is a great hotel in Oslo. Beautiful. So the paint is all done on this section. I am yet to decide if I want to put the names of the countries. I'm not gonna decide yet, but I am gonna go over some bits. This paint was quite opaque, so changed things a little, and I think the face actually looks all right. Nice. So while that is drying, I went into my cupboard, my treat cupboard. Well, it's actually a treat box in the fridge, and I found this dairy milk, which I got in London in December. And I think because it's Valentine's Day soon, I am feeling peckish, so for chocolate, so don't mind me, just gonna have that. This has now dried, and I'm super happy with how it looks. The texture is so pretty to me. So what we're gonna do actually is flip all the way to the back of the book, because I have an idea for how I want the end to go, and how long that takes will dictate the space we have left. So this is the end page. I'm for sure gonna put my logo there. And I have some ideas for the back. Oh, we have a little sticker. Goodbye. So yeah, I have some ideas for what I want those to look like, but let's do this part first. So as I mentioned, I want her to, wait, is this the right amount of pages? Let's just check. So here will be blank. Here will be scrapbook supplies. Here's gonna be a place for mementos and keepsakes. And then this would be page 2, page 1. Okay, so as I mentioned, I want this to be, look at the cool texture of this paper. I want this to be Sasha's, like a accumulation of her childhood, I guess. And I want to give a place for Mel and V to write something about every year of her life that she can look back on. So I'm going to have a double page spread for every year up until she's 18 with different prompts that they can fill out for her. So because this is the end of the book, this is going to be 18. Let's go closer, shall we? This is my signature Lizzie font that I like to use for almost anything I write, really. So 18, and then this page I'm going to leave blank, but I'm going to leave a prompt that says, our letter to you this year. So I figured every year, kind of around her birthday, Mel and V could write a note to her, just saying what they love about her, or anything cute that happened, or what they're proud of, that kind of stuff. So that'll be here. And then I want to encapsulate just like her vibe at the time. So what she loves, what she hates, who her best friends are, and just kind of like a snapshot into Sasha at 18. So we're going to put this page into 3 sections. I think it's clearer to read if I have normal font for most of it, and then outline font, bubble letters for main words. What you right now you love. I kind of want to say right now you hate, but I don't want to put hate, so we're just going to say right now you dislike. About a little above halfway. Dot, dot, dot. And then we're going to make a space for this year's major milestones. Dot, dot, dot. Okay, Cool. So I'm imagining this could be like right now you love art class or playing pickleball or pickles or a certain crush or something, like a mix of serious and funny things. And then milestones could be like had your first kiss, or I don't know, maybe she won't want her parents in her business like that, but got into university, like whatever those things are. So this is spread 1 of 18, and then this pen dries really fast, so it's all safe. Spread 2 of 18 is going to be slightly smaller sections. First section is for what was funny. So what made, I'll stop talking. Then I thought it could be funny to have your so here, what's your catchphrase? They could put stuff that she says all the time, and I'm interested to see if it changes throughout the years or if it's always the same. I think that'll just be funny. Then here I thought it could be cute to track her friendships, but her current besties could also be her grandma or her dog, or I don't know, something her. And then finally, as area to discuss how they celebrated her birthday or remember. Oops, I want that to be bold. And then on this last page here, I want to have a picture of her, a printout picture. So like this is part scrapbook when she's 18. And then I'm going to include in the back an envelope filled with these photo corners. So Mel just needs to print out the photos and then she can stick them directly in. All white, of course, to match. So we're gonna say, Sasha at 18. And then anywhere she's going to scrapbook, I'm gonna make a note for Mel. So insert photo of her when she's 18. And then we're gonna pick that off. Dry it just a touch, and that will go here. Okay, so I'm gonna do this for every single age from 1 onwards. So we're gonna skip the second page, go here and do 17. And then for each month until she turns 1, I also have an idea for them. You can go back and look at how this is gonna be. And then I'm gonna do exactly the same. So that's gonna be really repetitive and take a very long time. And the rain has really picked up and it's a bit chilly and I feel like watching Love Island. So I'm gonna go to my sofa, and my task for this evening is going to be to fill in all of the years from 1 onward. And then I'll meet you back here tomorrow and we can go back to the start of the book and keep adding. It's a couple days later and we have finished all of these sections. So I hope Mel fills it in every year and then Sasha can look back on what her childhood was like. I think it'll be so cute. And I love having bits for special memories and funny things. I often write myself notes on mine, and then when I read it again, I'm so grateful I wrote it because I'm like, what? I would have forgotten about that. And that was so funny. So, and I know Mel likes that too, so that'll be great. What I want to do now for the first year, because I think when you're below a year, things are a little different. So I've never had kids, I don't know, but just guessing. So each year has its own spread, but then I want to do a single open page for each month. So what we're going to do is write the Would an ASMR video like this be interesting? Kind of sounds cool. 11. Month. Lovely. And then I want to put in a few prompts as a way to just kind of cement her likes and dislikes at that time. So we'll start with a very important one, which is favorite foods. And we're going to do favorite toys. Let's say, and books. Then we're going to say favorite people. Favorite places. So, what is going on outside? Okay, just a little space for those things. And then on this side, I'd like to do, I love, I being Sasha, I dislike, my sleeping habits, and then probably my cutest moment. Not wanting to forget things. So we're gonna do this for, I think the last 6 months, and then for the first 6 months, we're gonna do slightly different prompts, but I'm gonna write in the ages, and then I'm gonna fill in these pages while I am watching White Lotus tonight, because that's a little repetitive for you, but we can draw the numbers together. Let's get you in a good place to do that. That's not a good place. Okay. Let's try like this. Is this good? Can't reply. I really don't know why I'm asking. suddenly worried I can't spell anymore. Things, when you look at words too hard, they look wrong. The 9th. Month. Let's just double check. Okay. I missed a page. Do you know what? We're gonna put a post-it there and worry about it later. I think 6 is such a cool number. Now to make sure that I'm getting, with this textured paper, that I'm getting the ink through all the little bits I need to, I'm pressing quite hard, which can be a little tiring on the hand after a while. So there will be breaks, even if they're not featured in this video. Gotta check where this paper starts. Okay. And then finally we have the first month, which is what we are in now. She is just a couple days old now. And I'm FaceTiming her for the first time either tomorrow or the next day, and I have never been so excited. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is different prompts for the first 6 months. And I think what we're gonna do first is maybe I'm happiest when. Because who knows what she likes when she's 2 months old. It's more like her vibes. But you definitely know what she doesn't like, so I don't like. And then also on this page, what I think would be sweet is, what have we discovered? Well, you can read. I think this will be a cute area to put little nice things. Then there were a few from the last 5 months that I think would be really good for here as well, such as sleeping habits. So we can pop those here. And maybe my favorite people. Mel has a really big family, and so I think that'll be fun to see how it evolves. And then maybe again my cutest moments. And I'm eyeballing where they go, so obviously they're not exact, but I'm trying to give a little more space to ones I think might need more. So cutest moments, hopefully there's a lot. So that's a little bigger than like, I don't like, for example. So tonight I'm gonna go through and fill all of these in. Our blank page, I'm not sure, but I'll definitely put something there. So, love this page. I really don't know if I should write the countries under. I feel like that could be kind of cute, but again, I'm going to think about it. What I want to do to start the book, aside from that, is kind of do a little bit of a, like, mom and dad's love story, just because I think that's sweet. Hopefully they're still together by this time. I'm sure they will be, because they are quite perfect for each other, really, in my opinion. So I think what I'm going to do, this book I want to be part scrapbook. And so I think what I'm going to do on this first spread is like how mommy and daddy met. Is Mel going to like me saying mommy and daddy? I don't know, actually. I think she's going to have to bear it for this page. Then how we fell in love. The tense, I realize, is moving all over this book, but you know what? She's not filling it all in on the same day, so it's fine. Then here, I'm gonna leave a page for them to kind of have a scrapbook page of like maybe tickets from their first date or that kind of vibe. So we're gonna go back to our same aesthetic we were doing with the older pages, where the important words in each sentence are in bold. So how they met, and then halfway down the page, oh, this funky shape we got going on. Halfway down the page, which is about here, I'm gonna say how we fell in love. Because unless you're extremely lucky, oh, I did go on the bit, it's okay. Those are two different things. I'm definitely a love at first sight kind of gal, or at least lust at first sight. Anyways, okay, so here is where we're going to put a post-it note prompt for what happens here, which is Mel and V scrapbook page. Maybe they have first letters they wrote to each other or something. I think it would just be cute to have all in one section. So we're just going to stick that in. It doesn't stick very well to this paper. Oh, let me also show you. I forgot if I showed you this before. I'm going to include, along with these corners, this super sticky tape, which I get at Paper Source, and it's the best for anything that's not like a perfect surface. So highly recommend that. It's great for when you're using sparkly wrapping paper, if that's something you do as often as me. So that's kind of a little background. Then I want to move into the pregnancy and reveal and all of that. So let's say, I think I might put you down here again. Sorry, you're being moved around a lot. I'm not really sure what the best way to do this is, so sorry. Let's say, and then expecting, I could squeeze it in there, but I want to make it bold. So let's do that right here. Boom, boom, boom. Moving along to how she told, which I'm not gonna say on the internet, but it's a hilarious story how she told him. Do you know what? They're definitely gonna call him the French word for daddy, so, oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna do this. Okay. Then I think it would be nice to have a bit that documents funny reactions. So we can put that on the top of the next page. So let's call this the best reactions from and then we're going to leave this as a whole page so that there's space to say plenty, and maybe people can even write in their own reactions, like family members. So on the next page, we're going to change this, make a new section kind of, and we're going to call it Preparing for You, and this is going to be about the pregnancy. Lovely. Maybe a little heart. And then I'm going to leave this page blank for something very special, which is the ultrasound photo. Using a nice Elle decor under here. Okay. So then a little bit about the pregnancy. So we can say mom's. I actually don't remember what her pregnancy cravings were. My friend was pregnant last year or I don't even know when it was now. I guess it was last year. She gave birth this time last year and her craving was for Christmas, which I thought was so cute. Okay, then important names we considered. They were between a few names and I just think this would be a nice place to give them a moment. I was almost called Charlotte or Georgina, and they chose Elizabeth. They also let me pick my sister's name, Alexandra, out of a list of names, obviously, and I kind of remember choosing it. I was in the bath, chilling by myself, and I hollered it. Okay, then nursery inspo, like what vibe they were going for. That's a hard word to spell. Hope that's right. And then I also want to put, again, that kind of memory section. So let's say silly. Memories and moments. Okay, I think that looks really cute. Do you know what I've realized? This video is going to be far too long, so I've skipped a touch. I just want to show you this page, which is your village, so everyone who's excited to meet you. And I thought it could be cute for anyone who's excited to meet her to make a little note of that. So I'm gonna write mine. I'm gonna say, Lizzie. And then I'm gonna do a little note that will be private. I wanna have a little page about her gender reveal. They did it in a really sweet way, which I couldn't be there for, but they sent me a video and I watched it, I don't know, at least 4,000 times. It was so cute. Gender. I don't want to squeeze reveal in there, so I'm going to put it below here. So there's this going to be a space to write about it, and then this is going to be a space for photos. So next up, we're going to do some pages on mom, on dad specifically, like their favorite things and where they were born and blah, blah, blah. And that's going to be a little bit of time. maybe 3 or 4 pages or so, just so there's really a background on this. So when Sasha's kids and grandkids get to read this, if they didn't get to meet Mel or V, they can get to know them a little bit. So I'm gonna go work on that, and I'll see you later. Okay, it's a couple days later, and I have filled out pretty much all of the book at this point. There's just a few little bits to do that I thought we could do together. Don't know which is the cover. Haven't decided what's happening yet, so, oop. Maybe I'll have to cut that out. I did decide to add the countries. I think that looks great. There's going to be some envelopes that are a place where she can put special bits in. This one is about when she was first ever born, and so I want to have a section for keepsakes from the hospital. So like her hospital band and any papers and stuff like that. So we're gonna do bits from the hospital. Now, I mentioned that red tape before that I will be giving to Mel. We're going to use the same tape to stick this down. So we're going to turn it over and take some that I have, press it down. I think I have this in my Amazon shop too. If it's not there, wow, that was very unsatisfying. I need different scissors for this. Then you can get it at Paper Source. Now, I just have to say, I love Mel dearly, and so I'm more than happy to make this for her. But if you're my friend, please don't expect me to make this for everybody, because this can be tricky to peel, but we'll get it. What the heck? Gotta get it, and then you can, there we go. Okay. Oh, why has that happened? This takes so long. I made one for Ashley as well because she just had Patrick a few days ago. And I'm making one for Mel. And if your name is Farida, there is a chance I'll make one for you as well. Otherwise, I can't be doing this all day long for free, you know? If you want to order one from me, I don't know if I'm going to sell them like that. Get in touch if you really want one, but I'm not going to list it or anything because it's quite the labor of love. A fun one, though. But yeah, please no expectations. What is going on? I'm not going to put you through the torture of watching this happen a few more times. Okay, so here, then we can just stick. Boom, 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 boom. Then, get to this hospital page. They'll put her first photo using these little corners. And then they can put in any bits in here. So, let's put this aside for a little moment. The next thing, so I already did one for a lock of hair, which is gonna go on a page with her first haircut info next to a page with her first teeth she's lost and a bunch of stuff on that. Here is gonna go, remember we kept those sections blank at the back? This is going here, and it's gonna be keepsakes. So let's write that out. I wanted this one to be as big as possible. because who knows what they'll want to put in there. But maybe it's like, I don't know, like nice notes from her teachers, or like a note from her crush, or I don't know, anything, tickets. Just want to have the option. I'm doing my S's a lot like that recently. Okay, so we have this, we have this. Then we're gonna do one more using these white A7 envelopes from Paper Source. Oops, oh, whatever. And this one is gonna go in the side as well, and this is gonna be the scrapbook supplies. Haven't left myself much room here. It's okay. Oh, it is fine actually. When I don't have much room, I kind of freak out and I don't do the inside of the bubbles. Not that that's going to change anything, but until I go back to it. Scrapbook. So, oh, not me doing it again. Cute. Perfect. So we have these nice, lovely envelopes. And I'll show you where those are gonna go. It's a little dark in here, sorry. So we finished all her years. Then there's a page for top secret information, which I don't know what is gonna go there. I'm curious. This I'm gonna put in here, but I'll save you from me trying to peel that tape. Here is gonna go the scrapbook supplies. And then the last fun little thing we're gonna do is stamp my logo on it. My little logo stamp. And we're just gonna use some ink, just a black. I had this stamp specially made for all my cards and stuff I make. This is also the logo for my business. And it's a Lizzie, if you didn't know my name. Okay, so we're gonna put this where we want it. Press really hard. Perfect. That looks great. Oopsie daisy. I'm gonna let that dry, tape in the rest, and then once it's sunny in the morning, I'm gonna show you kind of final reveal of everything. Not everything, because there's a lot of private info in here, and I don't want any direct copies, but a lot of things. In the meantime, I'm gonna put this in the scrapbook supplies, as well as the tape. And I'll show you in the sunshine of the morning, and then I'm gonna take it to UPS and ship it off to her. Also, oh, I like this page. Things we don't wanna forget ever. Here is the months, and so I wanna put this little piece at the, oh, here's a page I can show you. Holidays throughout the years, like a bit about where they are and what they did. And it goes till she's 18, which is 2043. That's whack. Anyways, this little piece, Mel gave me a really cool advent calendar from Papier, and this actually came in it. And so I'm gonna put this here just to mark where this bit is, so she can easily find the year she needs to write when it gets to that time, or the year or the month. Actually, let's put it a bit here. So when she receives this, I figure we'll FaceTime and I'll walk her through all these little details like that. Okay, so see you in the morning. Oh, the cover. I think what I'm gonna do is just write Sasha with a nice little heart. Keep it simple. As I mentioned, Belle likes a minimal aesthetic, so she's not going to want to put it in her house if it's too chaotic. Cute. Okay, I am going to go to this new restaurant in West Hollywood for dinner with Amber, and then it's art week, so we're going to go do some fun stuff, and then I'll see you in the morning, and we'll go to the post office. Good morning. This is the day we are shipping out. Very exciting. We won't go through everything, but I don't know why I did it that way. Here is how it's looking in the sunlight, which is great. I added this little cake because that's how they did the gender reveal, and it was pink. All ready for her to fill in. Here's bits from the hot. Bits for her first visitors to say, she was so cute and blah blah, and she hiccuped at me, or whatever, just cute little memories. Then I have sections on movement, like tracking all the first things. First talking, for some of her art, maybe she'll be an artist. First lock of hair, first tea, schools, a bunch of personal things all up in here. This is my favorite page. Love stories. So her first crush, kiss, relationship. I don't know if she's gonna want to tell her mom, but maybe she could fill it in herself. Just like cute little bits over the years. My sister once went on a date with this boy too when she was like 9 or something. I don't know how old she was, but she was young, and she went on a date with this boy, and they both took the bus to the cinema. 20-minute bus ride. They got to the cinema too early, and instead of just, getting a bite to eat, they each took the bus home. She was home for 10 minutes and then took the bus back. And that's my favorite story ever. And that would be a good one to put in there. Anyways, this is the book. Super happy with it. I just can't wait for her to have it. I wish she got it before the birth, but life didn't work out that way this time, unfortunately. So here's those bits for her keepsakes at the back, and then we have her scrapbook supplies. I'm actually not going to put the tape in there because then the book wouldn't close as well, so I'll just pop that in the parcel. There we go.